Okay, what we're going to be doing today is have a looking at this topology, um, and this will explain exactly what we're going to be doing with this video. Here, if I let's use a pencil. Um, right, so here, um, we've this is the VMware setup that I'll be using. So I'm gonna, for this demonstration, I'm just gonna be using the server. I think I've got a server 2008. So we'll do that. And along here, I'll use another color. Along this portion of the topology, here, this will be G. Ooh, this is not very good. GNS3. Right, so we'll be using GNS3. So we're going to have a switch in there. We're going to have a cloud representing this VMware network here, and we'll have a cloud representing the Cisco that's going to be attached to this Cisco router, which is basically my Cisco 2611XM, which is a physical router that I have. And then what from there, from the same physical router, it then goes FA00, I believe, goes out to my HP Pro Curve switch, which is then connected to my local LAN, which is on a 192.168.1 network, which is my Virgin. So that's this bit here. So that goes out, and so what we're going to have in order to get this whole thing to work, we have to use NAT. And so on the diagram here, I'm showing you the IP range used on this side of the inside, which is a 10.10.10.0 network /24, and on the other side of the router, which is connected to my local LAN, which is on a 192.168.1.0 network /24. We use NAT. So we've got NAT inside, and then we're using the NAT outside to differentiate between the two, and then basically we're going to NAT all the addresses coming from this side, the 10.10. To basically this address here, 192.168.1.101, because my local router that's connected to my ISP doesn't know anything about the 10.10 network, so it won't know how to get back. So basically we use NAT to translate. So as far as that's concerned, when a request comes out, it will be coming from 192.168.1.101. Right, okay, so let's get rid of that, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the first part of the troubleshoot of connecting or getting this whole process done. Now the first thing is you've got to do is, oh, by the way, I'm using version 10. Version 9, basically what I'm going to do now, where this virtual network editor is usually found on the menu here from the home page. So what you do is you load that up, And basically the important thing is, as you can see, I've got a few VMnet1, VMnet2, VMnet3. These are ones that I've set up previously. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be using this one, VMnet3, which is set up as a host only. Now that if you've just got the standard host that come with the install, you'll have to set one up. So basically you just go to add network, you choose the next available VM network, and you click OK, and basically gets, so let's say click OK, it then gets added. And then the next step what you need to do is you need to make sure that host only is selected around here, and connect a host virtual adapter to this network is selected, ticked, and uncheck if it is checked, which I think it is generally. Use local DHCP servers to distribute IP address to VMs. Right, that has to be off. That's very important. Right, once you've got that, you click OK, because basically what this now does is this creates allows you to build machines on that subnet, so you can use any IP address range. You know, obviously I'm using the 10.10.10.0, but you could be anything, and any additional machines, servers, or clients that you add to that card using that card will be able to use the basically use the topology. So if I bring that back in again, basically I'm going to be using that network. Now if I build 3 other machines, for argument's sake, or let's say I had 2 servers and another client, I would always choose that VMnet3 adapter for all 3, so that they're on the same subnet. And if DHCP has been set up on that server, those hosts will be able to pick up the IP address from that subnet. Right, so now that we've got our adapter, I'm going to show you now the machine that we're going to be using in this demo, and I'm going to be using a DS3. It's a 2008 machine, and if I just show you the settings, you can see under the network adapter I'm using VMnet3. That's the adapter that I'm using. So if I'm going to, if the idea here is to test let's say I'm building a server to replicate a server that I have at work, and I'm going to test it against a client. When I build my client, I would make sure that the network adapter is using the same custom VMnet3 adapter, so that it's all on the same LAN segment, right? And basically I would make sure and choose custom and VM3 host only. So you just basically pick your card like that and you click OK, and then that's now going to be on that subnet. Now if let me just to make sure that if I do a ping, because I've got this set up for a gateway of 10.10.1, and as you can see there's no response, because basically that middle bit with the GNS3 hasn't been set up yet. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Is the next bit of the puzzle. If I bring my diagram back in, the next bit of the puzzle is setting up this GNS3 link. So that's what we'll do now. So we'll start GNS3. if it's something that you're going to continue to repeat, you could then just say save it as a project, but I'm not going to. I'll just cancel that. And what I'm going to do now, I need a cloud to represent the VM Net3 adapter. So what we do is drag a cloud in here, right, and double click on that, go to node configuration, right, and under NIO Ethernet adapter, what I'm going to need to look for is, there it is, VMware Net adapter, there it is, VM Net3. So I select that, and there it is. Make sure that you've got the right adapter, click add, and then click OK. So that now represents that adapter. We're going to need a switch, so I'll pull out an Ethernet switch, and we're also going to need another cloud to represent the my Cisco router, physical Cisco router. And how I've managed to do that is basically, if I bring this up, I'll show you. Change my adapter settings. Right, so basically I've got 2 network cards in my machine, although this looks like I've got a lot of adapters. A lot of these, as you can see, are VMware and VirtualBox, but this is my main adapter, and I've got one called Lab01, which is the second adapter, which is a physical adapter, network adapter in my machine. Now this is the adapter that we're going to be connecting that cloud to, because this is the adapter that is physically connected to my router at, I believe, at port FA Fast Ethernet 01. That might be wrong, but we'll soon find out. But either way, this is physically being connected to that router. So that's the second bit of the cloud that we're going to let's get rid of that, connect. So if I go to configure, I just double clicked on the C2, and what I'm going to look for is that adapter that says, here it is, controller on localhost Lab01. Make sure that's the one. Yep, click add, and then click OK. So now if I just write in here Cisco router, and it's my 2611 XM, so that reminds us what that is. And on here I'll say my VM Net3 adapter, and there's my switch. Right, so now we just connect that up with Fast Ethernet to the switch. From the switch, there we have it. So bringing my diagram back up again. So now what we've got a cloud representing that link, that network, and we've got a cloud connecting to, for this switch in GNS3, out to my physical router via that Lab01 adapter. Okay, so the next thing before we go, I just want you to have a look at my this is the router. Alright, now if I do show IP internet brief, so you can see that. Okay, so yes, I was right. So Fast Ethernet 01 is connected to it's connected to that cloud. That's what represents that cloud. And the other side, fast Ethernet 0, 0, is represented by my local LAN. And if I do show running config, that will I'm recording, right, that will sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, that will show us, I'm just showing you what the settings on my router, so you can have a quick look. You can see NAT access list, yeah, so that's what the setup. So now if I bring back the server, right, and just to show you the settings on the server, so I've got the server set up as 10.10.10.11, and the default gateway is 10.10.10.1, which, as we said, goes to that second cloud that links up to my lab 01 interface. I'm just using 8.8.8 as a DNS, which is Google's DNS server. So now if we do a ping to 10.10.10.1, we should get a response. So that's the gateway. And if I do a ping out to the Google server, yeah, that works as well, which should mean that my internet should now work. And there you have it. So I've now on a 10.10.10. network, which subnet. So I've basically got two subnets, my local LAN and this test subnet, and I've now showed you how I've connected or given access to the internet. So if I do a www.bbc.co.uk, and there you have it. It's Saturday the 14th. It's what time is it now? It's 20 to 9. So that just proves that actually works, and it's a beautiful way of being able to test and build test systems and still keep it separate from your network. So Chris, have a go at that.